Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy. Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I am David T. Allen. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you everybody in the chat for joining me. We are going to be going over number 64, Falcon. This is a very controversial figure in the classified line for year two. It was very polarizing with the community, and there was a lot going on with this figure at the time that this came out. So we're going to go over all of that and talk about this figure. So first, we must get into our historical part of this episode with Falcon and go into a little bit of his history. So we're going to go to Dan Klingensmith's series of guides first. We're going to go to volume 6 of creating the history of creating G.I. Joe by Dan Klingensmith. This is volume 6. So Falcon, there you have it. Falcon is an interesting character. So he's supposed to be the brother of Duke. So in the Sunbow animated feature film G.I. Joe movie, Falcon was Duke's brother. And he's portrayed that way in several other iterations in animation and so on and so forth. But they portrayed him as kind of a screw up in the movie. Falcon's a fairly well-known character. A lot of people like him and enjoy him as a character, but they kind of tarnished the character, in my estimation, in the movie because of that. It kind of gave you the sense that G.I. Joes were not perfect, I guess, and G.I. Joes could mess up or screw up and make mistakes. Even though they had other characters do other things in the cartoon, this was really bad, this particular situation. And Falcon was shipped off to the retraining center with Sergeant Slaughter and the Marauders, Mercer, Taurus, and Red Dog. And so he ended up going there. But let's see what Dan Klingensmith has to say about Falcon. So he was one of the 87 characters that came out, along with Outback we did the other day. Let's see, alternate names, NA, year release 1987, designed by Ron Rudat. There you go. And Dan says, Falcon, wearing a tiger stripe patterned uniform that was common for special forces to wear during Vietnam, Ron designed Falcon with radio communication gear, a K-bar knife, shotgun, and several canteens due to the severe heat in the jungle. Ron shared that although this uniform was used frequently in Vietnam, it was never an official U.S. issued uniform. So there you go. This is designed based off of a Vietnam style uniform. So they changed him because he's part of special forces. So there you go. There's, I think that's it for Falcon on there. So yeah, we have different turnarounds, and we have the figure over there and stuff like that. You can see it's very Vietnam-esque. All right, so we're going to put that aside there. Then we're going to go into his vintage vintage packaging. So this is his vintage package there, Falcon's vintage package there. Um, and so that we'll put that aside. And then that's through Carson Metaxas, Collecting the Art of G.I. Joe, Carson Metaxas, 3D Joes, and then Falcon gets his first appearance in issue 60 of A Real American Hero. That was the continuation of the previous story with Cobra Commander, the Pogo, Raptor, and stuff like that. And Zanzibar shows up at the end of that, and Falcon's in this issue as well. So there you go. But famously, Falcon is his main appearance is in the movie, like I said earlier. So now we're going to go into the vintage figure of Falcon. Bobby World, hello. How are you doing today? Good morning. I can't remember if it was Lenny that talked about it, but the classified Falcon was modeled after John Wayne from the Green Berets. I'm not sure about that. I went over what Dan had to say, and Ron said it was a Vietnam-inspired costume and design. Ron Rudat, the guy that designed it, so I'm not entirely sure if that's accurate or not. It could be, but I'm not sure, so I can't say one way or the other. All right. But there's your vintage Falcon. I don't have all the accessories. I do have his shotgun there, but I don't have his backpack or any of his extra equipment if he came with anything else. So he's pretty tight, although his head's a little wobbly. I may have to tighten the O-ring screw in his back to get that. All right, so I'm talking about the classified. Oh, the classified one. He modeled it after John Wayne. That's interesting because there was a lot of complaints about that this figure, and we're going to go into a lot of that in a minute. So if that's the case, then I don't think they did a very good job with trying to portray John Wayne, in my opinion. John Wayne was an actor that I really appreciated when I was young. He did a lot of good movies, and he was in some of my all-time favorite movies, like The Quiet Man and a couple other movies. So that's going to be interesting to check that out when we get to the figure itself, Bobby World. But there's your vintage version of Falcon. A nice figure overall. This one is got all the paint apps on it. It's pretty tight, other than the head's a little wobbly. Has the beret from the Special Forces and so on and so forth. So let's see if he'll stand up. If I can put him there. Yeah, he stands. So just leave him there. We're going to get into his package. So this is a beautiful piece of artwork, I've got to say. But we're going to start with the designations first. Let's see what designations he has. So he's got a big lightning bolt. The lightning bolt is Vanguard. All right, and then he has the ammunition. So that one is, I believe, light weapons or something like that. Let me make sure. Yep, light weapons. And then he has that hazmat symbol, and that is medic. And then he has the little comic book bubbles. I call it comic book bubbles because it looks like bubbles from that you would use for the word bubbles for comics. And it is linguistics. So there you go. We have linguistics, medic, light weapons, and Vanguard for his designations on that. Let's see. Did you pre-order the short fuse and Steeler this morning. Yes, I did. I got it through Target because Hasbro Pulse was sold out by the time I got up. I got going around 9:30, and when I went to check that, it was already sold out. So I went to Target, and I was able to get them through Target. So if anybody wants short fuse and Steeler 2-pack, Target still had it up when I went over there about quarter of 10, 45 minutes past 9. It was still up on Target. So I don't particularly like ordering through Target, but I will if I have to, if I can't get it through Pulse, because Target is very fishy the way that they do stuff. I'm still waiting on my 2 divers to come, and I know other people have gotten their divers, so I'm a little bit nervous about that getting canceled. I hope I don't get it canceled, but it's the way it goes. So then whenever Fall Geek Out for Walmart starts, I will get the Ghost Viper, and whenever they drop the police officer, I will try to get that. I hope we'll know when that's going to get dropped ahead of time. I hope they don't just put it on the website, on Pulse or wherever, and drop it without letting people know what day it is. Good morning, Lone Dragon. How are you today? Thanks for joining us. Hello. So we're going over Falcon, the controversial Falcon classified figure. Target was $5 cheaper than Pulse. Yeah, it was a little bit cheaper. If you have a Target card or Target membership, you can get discounts and coupons and things like that. So you can get it cheaper if you want. Pulse doesn't have that. So then we went over the designation. So we're going to go over the package. So this is the new package design. So we're in the new cadence of the new packages. We have been for the last few figures. So we got the cross cell with Falcon, and then we have the little Falcon figure action scene here. So looks like he has a handful of accessories here, more than he did with the vintage one. And the figure looks a little bit different than the vintage one based off that. But I think this artwork is really cool. I think this is a new artist, and he does 2 or 3 different packages. This might be his first one that's really like computer generated looking, and it rolls over into this. And I really like this design of this package. It looks really cool, very mysterious, and very unique amongst all the packages that we've seen thus far. Different style of artwork. And then you get your little Falcon figure there. So again, this is the first time we're opening all these figures up. We started with 00. We're going on up, following the numbers, and we're doing the vintage package with every 5 figures, and we're going to do the legacy and the 60th anniversary every 10 figures, starting with 100. So we're going to put that aside now. We're done with that. We took out the weapons locker. This is the weapons locker. It's blue with the little pad. It says Vincent R. Falcon Falcone. So his last name is Falcone, and his first name is Vincent. So a lot of these figures, Hasbro is doing that with. They're putting the first name and last name on them to copyright it, because they lost the copyright on a lot of this stuff. So if you notice, a lot of the classified figures have the full name of the character, and then their code name in the middle of it. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that's a good way to do their names? Do you think it's better to just stick with their code names, or how do you guys feel about that? Because I'm a little bit, I prefer to just have the code name, and we'll see, but I guess if they don't have the copyright, they can't do a toy with it. So I understand where they're coming from, but I prefer just the code name. That's just my 2 cents, but there you go. All right, so then we got Falcon with his in his drawer. Just looking at this, he looks a little bit like he's a little weird, but we'll see. We'll see how he is. I know the head sculpt is a big controversial part of this figure. And we're going to look at that thoroughly and look at that face print with you guys, and we'll see what we think about that. Because I remember when this came out, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't think it's terribly bad, but now that we're opening the figure up and we're getting inside the package and we're getting a better look at this figure, we can make a better judgment on that for the figure. So there you go. There, put that aside there. And so yeah, it's going to be interesting. Because I think they even made a statement that they were, the Hasbro team, Lenny and them, said they were changing factories, and sometimes in the factory swaps, they they dropped the ball and they didn't communicate well enough on the transition and stuff like that, and the changes for the figure, and so that is where the lack of communication was. So there you go. Then we have the G.I. Joe Stars and Stripes again inside. Um, Good morning, Michael Gene Fleming. Thanks for joining us today. All right, so here he is. He doesn't have the camo pattern. It's more just green. It's more just a green uniform. There is a bit of a darker pattern in there, but it's not very noticeable unless you really get in there close. It is noticeable. You can see the dark pattern of camouflage, but it's not that noticeable. You'd have to really get in there to look at it. So there you go. There's Falcon. So we're going to look at him really close up. Did you see my new police officer figure? I posted it on the picture site that YouTube will delete my comment if I name or abbreviate. No, I've seen posts of the police officer. Somebody looked like somebody got it from Asia or whatever. I did see a post. I think Full Force might have shared it. I'm not sure, but I did see somebody posted some of the police officer figures. That was you that got that, Lone Dragon? It looks pretty good. I've been waiting for that police officer for a while now. That's one that I'm anticipating a lot because I think it's a really cool figure and it's a very modular figure. You can do a lot of stuff with that figure, but it'll be a while before I open it, even if I do get it. And that's a big question right there because we're waiting for it to drop someplace. So you guys, some people that are over in Asia can get it at different places that are over there because that's the closest to the factories, I guess. And so it takes a lot longer to get them in the United States. Uh, uh, no, not classified. The figures toy company police officer figure. No, I don't think I did. I don't think I saw that then. Um, um, the infamous Falcon. Yeah. They made those. Oh, I see. Okay, they made those referee and announcer wrestling figures. Oh, I gotcha. Um, Michael Gene Fleming. I did some pictures of the reunited Arashikage clan eating at the 112 sushi I had once, lacking a scared head. I put Falcon's head on a Snake Eyes body as a as a this is the best plastic surgery can. uh, that's funny, Michael Gene Fleming. Uh, let's see, Bobby World. It went up on BBTS. The Steeler and Short Fuse, or the police officer. The police officer is up on BBTS. Oh, wow. Thank you. That means I need to try to get that. I don't like ordering too much. Let's see if we can do this. You guys want to see if I can order that right when I'm on this stream with you guys? This is gonna be funny. See if I can get it, because I want to make sure I get that. Uh, BBTS. Go. No, I don't see. It's not coming up on here. No, I don't. I don't see it. I'm gonna have to try to research it after the stream, guys. I appreciate you letting me know that it was on there. Let's see. Hmm, let's see. Oh, it sold out immediately. Oh, wow. So that's why I can't find it. I don't have any of the 60th or legacy figures yet. They cost too much, and I have never seen any on discount. The firefighter is fairly common. You can go to Target and probably find it in store. I was at a Target the other day and I found 5 or 6 at a Target. Oh, okay, I see. I see what you're saying, Lone Dragon. I'm sorry about that. So let's get back to this Falcon. So we got off on a tangent with the police officer. I'm gonna see. I'm hoping maybe they'll show up somewhere else. I hope. Um, I didn't see them on Hasbro Pulse this morning when I found the short fuse in Steelers. So I don't know. That's funny. So what do you guys think? I'm looking at this head. Um, I think that obviously the lips are a little too red. I don't mind. The eyes are a little bit, but I don't think it's that bad for face sculpt. You know, they have to make them look different, but definitely the eyes needed less blue, and the lips needed to be less pink. Um, the hair, the eyebrows, the sculpting, I think is okay. The ears look all right to me. I think it's really the paint apps on that face is where that really comes off as a problem, right? Um, what do you guys think? Did you guys get this figure? And what do you guys think about this? Do you think it was terrible? Do you think um, a an issue. So he has the scarf, the secondary, and then he has the harness that's connected to the waist part of his coat and jacket. He's got pouches. He's got some dark silver browns. He's got a little blue deco. So there is a few different deco hits on this. It's primarily a dark green with a little bit of camouflage, dark black camouflage. He's got black boots. He's got the those little parts that they use for the boots that go over, so the bugs, I guess, don't get inside there when you're in the jungle, because bugs can get in all kinds of places. You don't want them to get into where your feet are. So, and then the belt is like like a lighter green, not lime green, but a lighter green. He also has a deco hit on this watch. Um, he's got pretty much all the main articulation points. He's got the butterflied shoulders. He's got the double pin elbows, double pin knees. He's got the thighs. He's got the calves. He's got the wrists. He's got the ankle rockers. Does he have the second ankle? Yeah, he got the second ankle swivel. He's got the crotch and waist articulation there. So he's got the new head ball joint articulation. So he's got almost everything else that all the main figures have, except for the secondary wrist articulation. So in that sense, I think it's a good sculpt of the figure. I don't particularly care for the paint apps on the face and the paint deco on the main figure. It's a little too dark for my taste. I would have liked to have had closer to the vintage, a little brighter. If you look at the that one, it's a little brighter with the camouflage. But there was definitely a lot of room for improvement with this figure. I'll say that. It's not one of the top figures. Michael Gene Fleming. The quality varies. I've got one that is not bad, just doesn't look like someone voiced by Don Johnson. Should any other Johnson should. My other is genuinely frightening looking. That's the one I would use in the Snake Eyes you did. Okay, Michael G. Fleming, I get it. So then that's definitely a factory issue then. If from figure to figure they don't look the same across, that means the quality control was not at its peak, and it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. If every figure looks different and they don't look the same, so there you go. But I don't think mine is like terrible in the face. Just like I said, the lips are a little too much pink, and the eyes could be a little less reduced. But other than that, I don't think the face is as bad as people have made it out to be. But I'm not saying that everybody's is the same as mine. And remember, I have 2 and 3 of each figure. So I just picked one of them and opened this up for the first time. So maybe my other ones are worse. Who knows? So let's get into some of these accessories. The weapons locker is here. So I hope the police officer is up on different other places besides Big Bad Toy Store. So we got the Cobra G.I. Joe bag of accessories. Then we got the legal gobbledygook. Put that back in there. Put that down. Put that back over there. And we're going to open this up. I hope the police officer shows up in different places over the next few days. Maybe Big Bad was the first place that they got it, and then maybe Amazon, maybe Entertainment Earth, maybe other places will get it as well. Maybe there's different shipments going out. Because I would be ashamed if it was just Big Bad Toy Store. I don't think it's going to be on Pulse, because they kind of are distancing themselves from the police officer for some strange reason. I don't know why. So here's his big backpack. He's got a very large backpack. Um, Bobby World, I like to see them bring back all the characters from the movie on a card back, especially since the movie's 40th is right around the corner. Yep, you're right. We got 3 more years for the 40th anniversary. So the fact is, we're getting Big Lob. I think the only one you would really need to get a more accurately movie accurate figure is of Chuckles. So Chuckles has been a few years since they did the San Diego Comic Con one. So I think we could possibly get a vintage package Chuckles that would have the white shirt and a little bit different accessories and be more pared down as a figure similar to his figure from the vintage. And then that would be it for the rawhides, I believe. Maybe you can get some variations of like Zorana, Baroness, um, and Winter Gear Duke or other characters from the movie, Dreadnoks, and so on and so forth. Possibly, I don't know, but all the rawhides are probably what you're talking about. I'm guessing. Um, Jinx. You want another version of Jinx, a vintage package Jinx? Um, I shipped Jinx because I didn't like the new look. You skipped Jinx because you didn't like the new look. Well, I thought the new Jinx that Classified did was closer to the Sunbow animated style, to be honest with you, because it has the bandana, it has the head, and it has a lot of the pugil sticks and stuff. Whereas the vintage one was just the mask, and it was much more of a ninja style. So I don't know, Lone Dragon. I think the Classified was closer to the Sunbow, but you're entitled to feel the way you want. Um, but so we have Falcon's backpack. He's got this big antenna on there. He's got rope and grenade and water things, different deco hits on those. So there are a little bit of different elements on this. Um, I don't have his vintage packaged backpack, so I can't really compare that at the moment. But I think it was more of a green that matched the figure. So I think in that sense, that is going to be lighter than this one. There is a sheath here. There's a little bit of a sheath next to that antenna as well. Um, but it fits really nicely on that. Looks good on there. Um, so let's go to his beret. So he's got his traditional beret and it has the special forces tampo on that front of that for that. So I'm going to stick that on his head. Let's see how he looks with that. All right, so we have his beret on there. Lone Dragon. Nah, she needs close sleeves, not tattoo sleeves. Blah. Okay, that's fine. I understand. Michael Gene Fleming. Classified Jinx is missing the sleeves. I actually like it better that way. But if you want a movie accurate one, they need to release another version with the sleeves. Ah, okay. I gotcha. Thank you. Uh, so there you go on that. And then let's see, he has this knife. It's kind of like a serrated. It has some little grooves in there. It's got some deco, silver deco on there, gray. So I'm going to put that into this sheath on the side of his backpack. There. Yep, goes right in there. And so then he has this very weird looking shotgun with this big extra thing on the end. It's got some brown deco on both sides. It's got a little bit of green deco right there on that weird handle. So we're going to stick that in his hand, and we're going to try to get that to be as non-obtrusive as possible. Um, well, I don't know. Let's see. We're going to do this. I'm not sure what this is. It's got a little scanner on there, stuff like that. I'm wondering if it's like a targeting situation, possibly. I don't know. It's very strange that weapon um, with him. Um, Lone Dragon. Um, of all of the things to waste the budget on, I think it's the excessive tattoos on characters that don't need them that bothers me the most. So you don't like a lot of the tampos and stuff that they add, the different uniform, military tattoos and different stuff. And I know she has some dragons and things like that. Jinx does. When we get to her, we'll look at that. But Falcon, it looks like he doesn't have any. He doesn't have any tattoos or tampos, only on his beret. Um, so there's your Falcon with all of his accessories and everything on him. Um, I can see why there's some concerns with this. There's definitely some issues with this. It definitely veered away from the classic vintage version. And the thing about it is, Classified is always trying to do that with figures. They're always trying to upgrade them, make them more classified, give them more stuff, give them a little bit modern technology. So I can see why they did the things that they did. They changed the figure up so he's not quite the vintage, because they do much more subdued colors, and I can see why this color is the way it is, because they do that. They do subdued coloring and stuff like that, and they take the brighter colors away. Uh, that gives them room to do possibly vintage package iterations of these. So Falcon does get a second release down the line a couple years later, because of the fact that people had such an issue with this figure. He gets a Night Force figure. But I think there is definitely room for a vintage package, a much more accurate vintage package version based on his original vintage, and maybe giving him a better face printing, less makeup on that, and less paint on the face, and giving him more accurate weapons to his vintage. So there's definitely room to get another Falcon, even after the Night Force version of him. Bobby World, they need to make a bumper sticker. My other Falcon is a Night Force. Yeah, yeah, I understand that. So yeah, so I think there's room for improvement definitely with this figure. He's not one of the best figures. Uh, he's probably one of the lower tier on the quality of it. So I can see where people get upset about that. So there you go. Um, but you know, room for improvement. Uh, I won't say 100% terrible and 100% awful. I'll just say room for improvement, and leaves some to be desired, and gives the opportunity to get other versions of Falcon. So there you go. There's your Falcon figure. Um, I know this is definitely a controversial figure at the time. A lot of people had issues with it. Um, and so I understand that. Oh, Doesn't want to stand. No, can't get him to stand, so I'll just lay him back down for now. I'm ordering some more stands. Hopefully, I'll be getting them. So I'll put the. I'm gonna add him to my Joe display is pretty full over there. I'm just gonna swap out one figure, and then my Joe display over there is full, and then my Joe display on this side that has secondary versions of Joes and stuff like that in the movie stuff. That's almost full. I'm gonna put a few of the ones that I've done over the last couple weeks onto it, and then that'll be full too. So I'm going to get another display that'll go down there, and I'll start adding some other stuff to that. Michael Gene Fleming. Putting the face aside, I really liked this figure. The design is a good basic design. The beret is nice and fits well. I bought a second Night Force Falcon for the spare head and use this figure often. So there's the good thing about classified is the modular ability about that you can take the heads from other figures, you can swap out the accessories, you can take the hands off of them, you can do a lot of that type of stuff. So it's a uh, um, um, click and swap type playability with classified, and I think that's a smart thing to do, and to keep that in mind for this figure if you don't want to use that head to get the Night Force 2-pack with Quarrel. It may still be up at Walmart. From what I saw, I thought I saw it not too long ago when I was checking to see when the Grim Viper was coming out. I was looking, and I think I still saw some up there. So I don't think that was a hard figure to get, or a 2-pack to get, because it has Quarrel. And that's another thing, you get Quarrel with that 2-pack. So there's a lot of extra stuff to get out of that 2-pack. I thought I bought a bombastic Bagman to get a better head for my Falcon. Bombastic Bagman? What's that from, Lone Dragon? I'm not familiar with that. Um, so that's another thing. A lot of these companies, like Gridiron and Ramen Toys, and a lot of these companies are doing accessories and different stuff that you can use for classified. They're trying to like be an extra thing that you can use for the classified line. I've seen some of the ramen toys and some of the other stuff that other companies are doing. They're phenomenal. Gridiron accessories are awesome. Marvel Legends. Oh, okay. I was not familiar with that figure from Marvel Legends. But thank you, Lone Dragon. I appreciate that. So there you go. So you guys can do some modular with Marvel Legends as well. And I didn't think that would work, but because they try to keep their lines separate at Hasbro from what they've told me, and what they've said in different interviews and chats, that they try to keep those lines separate, and there's not a lot of cross cross playability with those. But if you're able to do that and it works for you, great. I'm glad, because there are a lot of heads that you could probably use from Marvel Legends. I've seen a couple of my friends have done that. They've used Marvel Legends heads on different things. It's Peter Parker in a Fantastic Four costume with a paper bag on his head. Yeah, I have that figure. I kept that figure in package myself. I'm a huge I'm a huge Marvel Legends fan. I just was not aware that was the name of that figure, but I do have that mint on card in my Spider-Man collection. But I'm a heavy Marvel Legends collector, so I'm aware of who that is now that you described it. But I was not aware of that name. I just called it Peter Parker with the Fantastic Four costume with the bag over his head. So I guess you have a little bit more knowledge of what that version is called. But yeah, I'm a huge Marvel Legends collector. I have probably thousands of Marvel Legends figures and stuff like that. When I do that tour someday, Lone Dragon, possibly on my 200th subs video, if we can get to 200 subs, I will do that tour. We'll tour this room. We'll do a little bit of a tour of some of the other rooms in my museum. I call my house my museum because every room is packed full of toys and collectibles and all kinds of stuff. Just this room alone, I think you guys would be astonished how much stuff is in this room. This was my theater I built to watch movies with friends and stuff like that. But because I ran out of space, I started putting stuff in here, and now it's like filled with GI Joe toys and other stuff. Um, Crusty Old Crow. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us in the chat. We've been going over the classified 64 Falcone, Lieutenant Falcon figure, and the controversial debate on his face sculpt and whether it was worth all the vitriol or if it was not worth the vitriol. Um, and we've determined that it was a factory situation where the factory printing, when they Hasbro swapped factories, they weren't up to par on their factory face printing techniques yet. And so if you get different versions of Falcon, some are less obtrusive and some are more obtrusive. So that comes down to the quality control and the factory. Um, Yikes. Don't put that too close to the camera. Krusty or Crow, you're funny. I love having you in the chat. You always bring some levity to the chat. Sean Jones, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Um, like I was talking about, we're talking about Falcon and the controversy over his face print and whether he's as bad as people are making him out to be. And we've kind of figured out that it was the factory's fault, that they weren't up to par yet when they swapped factories on the face printing techniques, and it kind of some of them are better than others depending upon which ones you get. Um, Who got the pre-orders? I got the Short Fuse and Steeler pre-order, but apparently I missed out on the police officer. I'm gonna try to Ugly Face Falcon. Yeah, that's what he's called, Ugly Face Falcon. I'm gonna try to get the police officer at some point today. I'm gonna look around, see if I can get it, because I really wanted like 4 of those, but I don't know if I'll be able to get those. Yeah, I believe he did. He's the one that was asking me about it, Bobby World. Terrence, you really have some really good looking shirts. How much did I pay for this shirt? I guess it was in the $39 range, Terrence. EB Gamers is who you're counting on, Sean Jones? For the cops? Well, I'll look into that. I'll see if I can get it through them. I want to get 4 of those. I really do. Bobby, no, I missed it. Not a Pulse member, and Target isn't in Canada. I have to do with this out and see. Wait and see on that. Okay. I've gotten 2 of them from there. Oh, okay. So then I'll try that. What is that? Thank you very much, Sean Jones. I try to be unique. Um, um, let's see. Just about $40 is not a lot to pay for a shirt that like that. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I believe. Let me see. I keep the tags on here. I had it on here. I don't know if it's still on there. It's. I believe. I get it. It's through. Mm, Chalkline. Through Chalkline. For you on that one, Sean Jones. Um, that's awesome. Keep posted on that. See. Oh, it's slow to get stuff there, Sean Jones. I gotcha. So these are done by Chalkline. I have a few of these, by the way, different ones. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get my police officer. Hopefully, after this is over, I'm gonna go looking around and see if I can get it. Thank you guys for keeping me up to date on that. I wasn't sure when that was gonna drop because it was very like um, speculation would be in a few weeks, and we got that email from Hasbro, or that message dropped. I think it was on Monday of last week. So they said in the next few weeks. So I'm wondering if different people are going to get it on different at different times. So each week maybe there will be different drops, kind of like a San Diego Comic-Con situation where they dropped it each day, different things, the San Diego Comic exclusives. So maybe they'll do that with the police officer, and different people will get it different days. I hope, because I really want to get that police officer bad. He's one of the ones I'm most anticipating for the fall here. He's really cool. So, anything else you guys want to talk about? Ugly Face Falcon. So we're going to be going into another redeco with 65 of a character that we've already gotten. And so then we're going to go into another vintage package figure after that. And then we're going to get into another redeco after that. And then we get into quite a lot of new stuff. So we've got a lot of reuse and redecos for the next 2 or 3 videos. But then after that, we're going into a lot of new cool stuff. So I look forward to that with this series, and hopefully you guys will be hanging around and getting those notifications. Share these videos so we can get grow and get to the 150 subs, so we can do another Street Fighter figure that you guys get to choose. And I appreciate all the communication in the chat and the back and forth, and helping each other out. That's really cool to be cool Joe bros helping one another out, try to get this stuff, because it's not easy for everybody to get this stuff in all these different places. And so I think that's really cool that you guys are helping one another out. So I appreciate you giving me some information as well in the chat on some of this stuff. I look forward to sharing some of my new stuff. I've got 3 things that are being shipped now. My Monkey Wrench is being shipped. My Hawk and MMS is being shipped. My San Diego Comic-Con Cold Slither set has been shipped. So I'm looking forward to all that coming, and I'll be showing those off soon. Yeah, there's a lot of great people in this community. We're very fortunate that G.I. Joe has a good community, and a lot of guys helping one another, and a lot of people helping the brand grow with a lot of their books, like Carson and Dan. And there's a lot of good conventions with Assembly Required, Joe Fest, and Kentuckiana, and SoCal Joe Show, and a lot of that. And it's a really good community. There's a lot of cool independent toy makers in the community, a lot of cool book members that are making books, and a lot of people making games. So we're very, very fortunate that we have a really nice group of people. Obviously, not everybody's going to be that way. There's going to be detractors and positive people. but try to stay positive if you can. Uh, I appreciate all the positivity on this channel. I don't like negativity too much. So if I have something bad to say, I try to keep it as little as possible. If I have to say something like I did about ugly face Falcon here, I try to keep it to a minimum. I try to be positive. I hope you guys have gotten that through these videos. You see the positivity that I have. And I want to keep this channel positive as much as possible. I don't like negativity. So thanks everybody again. And this is a Joe video. So we're going to do Yo Joe. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot again.